Hi, my name is Rhiannon and I'm a part-time online student looking at objectification and empowerment of women participating in the camgirl industry. I'll first start off with my research questions, which have remained the same since semester 1. My thesis is asking if women participating in the camgirl industry feel sexually empowered or objectified by their acts, or perhaps somewhere in between, and what circumstances allow for these women to feel empowered and or objectified. Secondly, I'll explain what I've learned since semester 1. Since last semester, I've continued to focus on gaining an in-depth knowledge on my chosen methods and methodologies, as well as ethics. More specifically, I've been conducting research into feminist standpoint epistemology, specific feminist methods, and ethical considerations regarding research with sex workers. Feminist standpoint epistemology is a feminist methodology that believes knowledge to be found socially within marginalised and or oppressed populations, particularly within the social lives of women. Feminist standpoint epistemology focuses on gaining knowledge through women's lived experiences, as opposed to quantitative data, and uses these experiences as a lens through which to examine society as a whole. Feminist standpoint epistemology recognises that women have a double consciousness, a term coined by Sandra Harding, which argues that women, as an oppressed group in society, have a heightened awareness of not only their own lives, but the lives of the dominant group as well. This leads to women being able to provide a strong objectivity in research, which Jagger explains is an oppressed group's ability to provide the basis for a view of reality that is more impartial than that of the ruling class, and also more comprehensive. Another fundamental aspect of feminist standpoint epistemology is self-reflexivity. Reinhardt states that one distinguishing feature of feminist research is that researchers draw on personal experience to do their research. Therefore, researchers pay attention to self-reflexivity, a process whereby researchers recognise, examine and understand how their social background, location and assumptions affect their research practice. The main feminist method I'll be using during my research is an in-depth interview. Hessie Bieber gives advice on this type of interview, stating they may be structured or unstructured, lists different ways of probing the participant, and explains the different types of relationship between the research and the researcher, as well as how to interpret the data found through this method. As pornography and sex work is socially stigmatised in our society, there are many ethical considerations that need to be considered and arranged before commencing primary research. This includes gaining informed consent, which is a written statement given to the research participant that explains the purpose, process, methods, benefits, confidentiality and use of data. This also gives the participants the option to opt out at any time. Confidentiality refers to the protection of the anonymity of research subjects during research and during the public dissemination of the research results, and identifying any risks that may impact the researcher and the participants in order to mitigate prior to commencing research. So what lies ahead for my dissertation? Over the next year, I plan to gain my ethics approval so I can commence my primary research while simultaneously continuing with my secondary research. I will then begin the process of writing and editing. Obviously, the process of research will not be as linear as shown on this graph, however, I plan to use this as a rough guide. Thank you for listening.